From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordo, and this is your News 8 Daily for Monday, May 12th. We're off to a decent start outside. It's a bit cloudy out there. It's not going to be a washout by any means, but there are chances this week for the humidity to go up and for there to be some pop-up showers throughout the day. Breaking news, the trade war between the U.S. and China is cooling off this morning. The two countries say they have agreed to dramatically scale back their competing tariffs for at least the next 90 days to give more time to negotiate a more permanent deal. America's trade representative in talks in Switzerland says that the U.S. levy on Chinese goods will fall from 145% to 30%, and China's will drop from 125% to 10%. Also breaking news, police say at least 3 people are wounded after an early morning shooting. IMPD says officers first went to a call at 34th and Arlington just after 2 this morning. Investigators say they did not find any victims there, but 3 people later showed up wounded at different hospitals. Police say one is at Methodist, another at Eskenazi, and a third at Community East, and all are stable. So far, there is no word on what may have led to the gunfire. To Pacers watch now, the Pacers pummeled the Cavs and set records in the process. 7 players scored in the double digits as the Pacers built an 80-39 halftime lead over Cleveland, tying an NBA record for the largest halftime lead in a playoff game before cruising to a 129-109 win. Pacers are now in the lead 3-1 in the Eastern Conference semifinals and are 1 win away from eliminating the top seed in the East. Sports director Anthony Calhoun was at the game and has more on the big bounce back from Friday's bad loss.
Whatever Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle told his team after embarrassing Game 3 loss to the Cavs here at the Fieldhouse, well, last night it worked in Game 4 because his team was on a mission to get the job done against the Cavs. And how about the performance we saw right from the start? This Pacers team led by 41 points at halftime. They shot 60% from the field. And how about this? 80 points they scored in the first half alone, which was a franchise record in the postseason.
For that coach is, a savant when it comes to adjustments and getting the best out of guys. And, I think we kind of just follow that lead. And his intensity come playoff time is it's easy to follow. And, when we have a game like we had last game, such a letdown, he sets the tone with, our energy in practice or, film or whatever, and we just kind of follow that lead.
Game 3 was ugly. It was ugly. And our crowd was another thing that really fueled us tonight. And our guys responded well, but, as I said, it's over. And now we got to get ready for the next.
I just thought we had fight. I don't really look at, the points and all that stuff. I just thought our fight was there, which is important, and who that's Pacers basketball.
The job's not finished. Great quote the great Kobe Bryant. And I think that that's real. You got to be able to go into hostile territory and be able to stay focused. I think that. People are going to start talking about us now. We're this, we're that. We got to keep our heads down, keep our blinders on and just keep rolling, man. Just, ignore the noise and, continue to keep playing our brand of basketball.
The Pacers, they did have 7 players in double figures as they take a commanding 3-1 lead against the Cavs in this best-of-7 game series. And the Blue and Gold know they're going to need a total team effort on Tuesday night in Cleveland if they want to wrap up this series and get back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the second year in a row. Of course, Wish TV will be on the road covering your Pacers. Our coverage starts on Tuesday from Cleveland. Anthony Calhoun, Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Last night, the Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle also set a record for most NBA playoff wins in franchise history, scoring the top spot over Larry Bird with his 33rd playoff win with the Pacers. Team honored him with a picture on social media showing him now and then when he was the coach back in 2003 to 2007. The late Slick Leonard holds the overall team record for postseason victories. His teams won 69 ABA playoff games during his tenure. The other big story from the game is an incident involving Benedict Mathurin in the first quarter. It happened quickly. You see, Mathurin punches DeAndre Hunter in the chest, then Hunter shoves Mathurin to the ground. Officials called Mathurin for a flagrant 2 foul, which is an automatic ejection. Hunter was given a technical. After the game, Carlisle said he had a lot of questions about the call, but that Mathurin would accept it and the team would move forward. More news now. Indianapolis-based Lilly gets a boost from a new study. Researchers say the company's weight loss drug outperforms its rival. Lilly funded this study. It finds that people taking Zepbound lost more weight over time than those who took Wegovy from Novo Nordisk. The numbers? Zepbound led to an average weight loss of 50 pounds over 72 weeks, that's 6 years, compared to 33 pounds for Wegovy. Lilly's stock stumbled last week after CVS announced that Wegovy would be the preferred option in its benefits management business. A Mother's Day crash into the Johnson County Juvenile Detention Center may have been an attempt to send the legal system a message. That's according to authorities after the arrest of a man. News 8's Brittany Noble is on the story, and she starts with who he is and what police say he did.
Well, investigators say the father drove a pickup truck with the words "Fathers Matter" spray painted on the back. The sheriff's office says 39-year-old Jacob Daunt told them he was trying to send a message to judges and the judicial system and that he had not been allowed to see his son in over a year. Around 11:40 on Mother's Day morning, deputies say he drove his white pickup truck into the front entrance of the Johnson County Detention Center in Franklin. The facility operates 24/7 and houses juvenile residents. We're told people were inside the building at the time of the crash, but that no one is hurt. Daunt was arrested and preliminarily charged with intimidation, criminal recklessness, and criminal mischief. Authorities say the suspect is being held without bond because he has an active warrant out of Shelby County for dealing meth. As more details about the investigation become available, I will let you know, both on air and on our website. I'm Brittany Noble for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Investigators in Greenwood are trying to figure out what caused a plane to lose power and crash. The wreck happened just after noon yesterday near the Indy South Greenwood Airport. Investigators say a single propeller plane had taken off and was heading north when it made an emergency landing about a half-mile away near the State Police hangar. The Greenwood Fire Department says a male and female were inside the plane, but we do not know their ages. A release from the department says the two were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. IMPD is warning of a surge in vandalism in the historic Lockerbie Square neighborhood. They say people have reported nearly a dozen cases of slashed tires or shattered windows. Talked to a man who lives in the neighborhood. He estimates the true count is in the 20s or 30s. Police offer some tips to keep your ride safe.
Going to park your car in a city street, no worries. Just make sure that you park it legally, that you make sure that there's no valuables in your car, and consider investing in loud audible alarm system or other security measures that can help mitigate these things.
Police are asking for anyone with information or video evidence of the vandalism to please come forward. New on Daybreak, Hamas says it will free the last known living American Israeli hostage held in Gaza today as part of an effort to negotiate a ceasefire with Israel. Yesterday, Hamas first announced that it had agreed to release Eden Alexander within 48 hours. He was serving with Israel's army when he was kidnapped during Hamas's attack on October 7th in 2023. The release comes one day before President Trump is scheduled to arrive in the Middle East on his first official foreign trip. Family members of an Indianapolis man are watching developments in Syria closely. They want to know if remains found there are those of their loved one more than a decade after his execution. Abdul Raham Kasig, formerly known as Peter Kasig, was delivering food and medical supplies in Syria in 2013 when ISIS kidnapped him and beheaded him on camera the next year. His parents, Ed and Paula Kasig, say in a statement that the U.S. government has told them about the remains of possible ISIS victims discovered in Syria. Kasig's statement says, "Until more is known, we will have no further comment." Now let's get to your business headlines with Jane King. She starts with a story on beef prices.
Stocks were down Friday on nervousness about the China trade talks, but by all accounts, the results of these talks over the weekend were much better than what anybody expected. The Dow is pointing at a 1,000-point gain at the open today as the U.S. and China have decided to delay tariffs for 90 days while they keep talking. Live from the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King.
It's a day of change at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Track crews are swapping the road course to the oval, and race teams will put their cars into the Indy 500 trim. Practice starts tomorrow on the heels of another dominant drive by Alex Palou. He won the Santiago Grand Prix Saturday at the track. He started from the pole and immediately lost the lead to Graham Rahal, but clawed it back late and kept it. It's his fourth win in 5 races, giving him a commanding lead heading into the Indianapolis 500. Now 13 days away. Today you can meet 3 drivers on their day away from the track. Ed Carpenter Racing is heading to Zionsville. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez was there this morning at the Java House and tells us what's happening there.
Yeah, so you'll be able to meet with Alexander Rossi, Ed Carpenter, and Christian Rasmussen as they're on their day off, as you guys mentioned, from the track. They'll be meeting and greeting with fans, taking pictures, and also making some coffee if you need an afternoon pick-me-up. Here to tell us a little bit more about what's going on, we have Matt Thompson. He is with Heartland Food Products Group. And Matt, tell us a little bit about, well, you mentioned it last hour, about having a little bit of a presence on the track. As a local brand, what has that done for your guys' presence, nationally?
It's really raised our profile. I mean, I apologize, I'm a little caffeinated right now. I think I'm on my 3rd Christian number 21 signature drink. But as an Indianapolis-based company, it's just huge for us. Our parent company is the makers of Splenda, done right here in Indiana as well, Indianapolis. And it's just so much fun to see the Java House car, the Splenda car, going around the tracks all over the country.
And so those cars will actually be outside in the parking lot, right, for people to take pictures. Tell us a little bit about what people can expect if they come through this afternoon.
Yeah, so if you come to our Zionsville location, you'll be able to meet and greet with the drivers, as you said, Ed Carpenter, Christian Rasmussen, Alex Rossi will be here. And then we'll also have the number 21 Splenda car and the number 20 Java House car that Christian and Alex drive will be out front. You'll be able to take pictures. It's a great photo op. Very rarely do you get a chance to get this close to the cars.
And if people can't make it out tonight, you guys also will have more of these kinds of events throughout the month, or at least you guys will be at the track with some sort of presence?
So we are definitely at the track at the fan zone in the midway where you'll be able to come and we'll have some meet and greets and be able to try all of our different products. And then we do have another event at our Clay Terrace location on May 21st.
All right, Matt, thank you so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate it. The drivers, they'll become baristas at 4 right here at the Java House Zionsville, and they'll be here through 6 tonight. Reporting from Zionsville, I'm Hernan Gutierrez, Wish TV and WishTV.com.
As Pope Francis said, I too turn to the world's leaders with an ever-timely appeal. Never again war.
Pope Leo is calling for peace across the world in his first Vatican address. That was the new pontiff yesterday, speaking to thousands of people in Vatican City. In his address, Pope Leo called for peace in Ukraine and an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. Speech is a papal tradition, offering a Sunday blessing at noon. Officials say about 100,000 people gathered in St. Peter's Square for the address. The Chicago Staple has named it a dish after the new pope, a now very famous Chicago native. Portillo's says its new sandwich is called the Leo. Company describes it as a combination of divinely seasoned Italian beef, baptized in gravy, and a holy trinity of sweet, hot, or combo of peppers. We did look up their Italian beef sandwich online, and the two seem quite similar. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at WishTV.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.